and I have long regarded the matter as not settled. Therefore, I will address Jefferson with my mathematical descriptions and findings, in order that we settle the matter in a definitive and conclusive manner. Therefore, I summon you to this particular lecture at this particular time on this particular day, in order that we arrive at a conclusion satisfactory to all parties concerned in the formulation of the quantum mechanical theories of nature and time. I'm living on such sweet nothing. I'm living on. And I have long regarded the matter as not settled. Therefore, I will address Jefferson with my mathematical descriptions and findings, in order that we settle the matter in a definitive and conclusive manner. Therefore, I summon you to this particular lecture at this particular time on this particular day, in order that we arrive at a conclusion satisfactory to all parties concerned in the formulation of the quantum mechanical theories of nature and time. I'm experienced. Let's just how to really learn C++. Here we go.
Hey, what's up guys? My name is Achono. Today I wanted to answer a question that I get asked very often. What do I do next in my C++ learning journey? Now, this is a very common and fair question. I've been teaching C++ on YouTube for quite a few years now. I've also been teaching students one-on-one privately as well. And they seem to get through all of this teaching content rather easily, whether it be my videos, whether it be C++ textbooks, or even university courses. They have no trouble learning the concepts from all of that content, as well as even sitting exams. But what do you do next? What do you do once you've been taught C++, so to speak? How do you transition into actually being able to write C++ code freely and more or less speak C++ fluently, if you may? I'm going to sum this up in just a single phrase for you right here, so it's really nice and simple. Open source projects. You need to start looking at other people's code. Actual real-world C++ code, not examples in textbooks, not the kind of homework that you get from your university software engineering course. No, you need to start looking at actual projects in the real world. I mean, think about it. When you're sitting there in a code...
I disagree with the findings of the Jefferson report. The mathematical description is mute. If we are to not satisfy our findings of the criteria... Okay, stop. It was not worth it. I'm living on such sweet nothing. You did a lesson on pointers? Wow. Anyway, so if I just have a look there, looks grand. Sort of like flung up this direction. I don't want to. Anyways, let's watch this.
Interview, and the person wants to hire you and you want to be hired, what kind of code do they expect you to write? Examples on how to implement a vector or a list or something like that? Or actual real-world code that belongs inside their code base? Well, of course, they're going to want the latter. They'll train you in the job, don't get me wrong. I'm sure you'll pick up a lot of stuff during your job. You're not expected to know everything upon being hired, but you need to understand how software is actually written and what real-world code looks like. Now, this is actually how I learn. At the level that I'm at, whatever level that is, I like to read other people's code. Whenever there's some new concept or a new problem or a new technique or a new algorithm or just something that's new to me, my favorite way of learning that is to actually look at existing code that's out there. Because I speak C++ or I speak programming, if you will. And so it's a lot easier for me to actually read about it natively in that language rather than hear someone else, or if you don't have a job, then maybe start looking at open source projects, as I mentioned, and start contributing to them. Because if you immerse yourself in the language that you're trying to learn and actually start using it as if you already know the language, forcing yourself to actually learn more about it, then you're gonna do a lot better. So what projects should you start looking at? Well, my advice is always to start looking at something that interests you. So if you're really into games, maybe look for some open source game projects on GitHub. Something maybe simple like Mario to start off with, or any arcade games from the 80s, they're really good places to start, but then you can gradually build that as well. Maybe you're interested in game engines. Well, take a look at Unreal Engine or Go.Engine or even my engine, Hazel. And if none of that stuff interests you, maybe you're interested in actually helping the world in your quest to immerse yourself more in C++, why not check out one of the bug bounty programs? These basically pay you money to try and find problems or issues or bugs inside C++ code. But what stage do I need to be to dive into this kind of stuff? Now, this varies from person to person because I know a lot of people get overwhelmed looking at actual real-world projects if it's a little bit too early, but I would say don't worry about it, just check it out anyway. It's usually not going to do any harm. I mean, think of it like moving to Japan without speaking much Japanese. You're going to pick it up if you live there. That's in fact probably the best way to pick it up. Now personally, I love using a tool called PBS Studio, who are also the sponsors of this video, while I'm looking through all of these massive projects. PBS Studio is a static analyzer, which is gonna help point out problems in source code. I mean, I promise this is not turning into a reaction channel. Hey, what's up guys, my name is Chono, and today we're going to be talking about the PlayStation 5, specifically watching and reacting to the PlayStation 5 technical details deep dive video by Mike Cerny. So last week I put up my reaction to the new Unreal Engine 5 demo, and so many of you requested that I make a reaction to the PlayStation 5 video, and specifically.
By the way, the feature most requested by the developers, that was an SSD, which we were very happy to put in the hardware, but a lot of problem solving was required. I'll be doing a deep dive on the SSD and surrounding systems.
Yeah, now I've heard a lot of things about the SSD, and in fact, without really knowing about the SSD capabilities of the PlayStation 5 and the Unreal Engine video, I did kind of like suggest that an SSD is probably playing a huge role in what was able to be achieved in that demo. I think the primary reason why developers asked for an SSD and why that's so important is because more and more of the game's assets are becoming extremely large. Developers are trying to develop higher quality assets, and higher quality assets, like simply put, they take up more data. They take up more bytes of data. Like they are bigger. And because they're bigger, you have to be very careful about what you actually keep on the GPU RAM, what you actually keep on the CPU RAM. You have to be a little bit more specific about what it is that we need to actually have in our GPU memory for immediate rendering, and what we can just not even keep in CPU RAM anymore. Like it was kind of possible with lower resolution textures to just have the whole texture.
Fuck you. Henry Ivory, 1994. Legend. Burn it down. But don't call me a widow. For if you do, I will respond with a letter of protest, and you will be shivering in your boots. There is still time, but not much, and you will be shivering in your boots. Legend. burn it down. But don't call me a widow, for if you do, I will respond with a letter of protest, and you will be shivering in your boots. There is still time, but not much. Anyway. I really programmed the x86 to really process all those implementations. Don't talk to me like you understand me. Talk to me like you don't understand me.
Hello, team.
Listen, guys, I don't have much time. Things are going down.
What's up?
I'm going aim, boys.
Bro, you can place normal speak. What you do?
Oh, what you say? They're coming A. Weak on ramp. I have a cramp. Ah, motherfuckers, man. Motherfuckers, man. They're taking all my shots. There's one with 14 damage. Nice, let's go. Listen, you've got to simultaneously fuck him in the ass. You can't be one peeking like that. What the fuck are you doing?
Bro, I know understand your language.
Listen, you gotta like rape him at the same time.
You saying? I know understand this. Slowly.
You
bro,
never
slowly,
understood anything,
slowly.
Vladimir.
Bro, slowly, please.
Vladimir.
Slowly, bro. I don't understand your.
I don't understand you, motherfucker.
Go play. Please. Biceps.
Oh, Vladimir.
Under.
Should be.
Wow. Good shots, purple. Rotation. Watch top mid for the rotation. Vladimir! How'd they get to A? Yo.
Under, guys. Careful, under.
The intelligence was a failure. Fuck.
Top mid 2.
Middle.
Listen, you gotta fuck them at the same time, right? That's how you do it. You ready? Let's go. Yo! That was a good shot. I don't know why I did that.
Green. Drop me farm gun.
Blue, drop me this
Yeah.
MP9, please. Here is MP9, please.
Motherfucker, I ain't dropping shit. I got a nade. I've got a grenade. Hey, they're smoking. I got a grenade.
Pit.
Ramp. And he's gonna do nothing. Oh shit, yo, they're taking our fucking motherfuckers. I need to protect this guy, dude.
Very low sandwich.
Oh my god.
You're having a sandwich?
Very
Yo,
well
play the
finished.
game, man. That's why you're fucking dying. Ah shit, man. I mispressed my fucking keyboard. Yo, put the sandwich away. Fucking play the game, man.
Ico.
Sorry, I just had a baby. My hormones. I'm pushing ramp. If I die, tell Mary I fucked her mother.
Nice help, blue.
Yo, what do you mean, nice help?
Help.
Fuck are you talking about?
Why you stay on the back?
Cause I was reloading?
Nice smoke.
Yo, this guy's hacking.
Sorry, bad smoke. Pit.
Pit. You got bomb, no?
No, Tetris.
I'm going.
Pit. He's back. He's go back.
Go watch the cross top mid. Nah, you can't. You don't have time. Coming back,
no.
eh?
No, go back. Side.
What the fuck was that?
There is still time to stop the key from turning.
Let's move out.
We need more on B or some shit.
Throwing fire.
I'll go mid, I guess.
Laying down smoke. Throwing fire.
One more.
Smoke.
Palace, one more. Pompa.
One might be under.
They're in T base, yo. T
Two,
base.
two guys under.
Almost like A orientation. Let's go under challenge.
Yep, one going B.
I'm staying A, it might be a fake.
Incendiary out.
No.
Coming now.
Nice. Flash. Take A.
Oh, I knew he's here.
Weak, weak, weak. Not that weak though. He's planting.
Oh my god.
No, no, no. Yellow's cheating. Yellow's cheating.
Shut the fuck up.
That's the second time you've done that. The second time. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying.
Mini. Cheating and what?
I'm pushing around with a P90.
We are out of here.
Oh, I'm not doing
Grenade out.
that. Dude, off.
Throwing fire. Throwing smoke.
A flash. Never mind.
Blue stay A.
Under bomb. One under bomb.
Incendiary.
One.
45.
One.
One's ramp. One's on Tetris.
After one.
Tetris, sandwich, sandwich. Connector.
Flashbang.
Oh, A side. Palace.
Palace maybe, yeah? Or?
Definitely, 100%. He's weak.
Ninja.
Fuck, man, he was ninja, right?
Eco. Ah, okay. I can drop your pistol.
Yeah, drop me a pistol. I like that. Yo, you're fucking cheap as fuck. Give me a deagle.
Let's move out.
Actually, give me a deagle. Oh.
Laying down smoke.
Don't take it personally. Are they on short? One's middle. With an AK. Let's peek him more. Peek him. He's weak.
Throwing smoke.
One more.
Nice.
Nice, good. Bestie. Almost two.
Don't take it personally. This is a 5-man team, by the way, just so you know.
What on? Incendiary out. Grenade out. Smoke.
See, that's a fast peek right there. What a dig. That's what kills me. Oh, I can't do that.
Under.
Okay.
Gaps one.
Nice, I need to keep moving.
Incendiary.
Where is he? Don't take it personally, 'cause we were never in love. I have long searched for the Philosopher's Stone, but to no avail. Sujinko in the north.
For Queen and Country, man.
I don't wanna. Oh shit!
Throwing fire.
I got away. One on ramp with a pistol.
Gaps one.
Throwing fire.
Feng Shu should know what to do here. This bro.
Laying down smoke.
Palace. Palace. Palace!
One time mid too. 49 damage. 49 damage.
Gaps. One.
I'm watching this guy carefully.
I'm waiting.
In window.
Maybe someone A will work.
It's clearly cheating.
The middle.
What the fuck just happened?
B. One B.
Top middle last.
I know he's there.
It's all good. I think he has cancer anyways. You know. So.
Let's give it to them, boys.
No, I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna have to go and review that. So 6-3 about 6-3. All right, I'll go review that. I swear something just happened.
Laying down smoke.
Oh my god. Rack. 2 ramp.
Come in, A, come in, A, come in, A. I'm gonna get a 2-piece. They smoked me off, yo.
To pit one.
I'm challenging this.
Throwing a grenade.
What the fuck? Why is he slowly walking towards smoke like he's fucking Batman? Jesus Christ.
He's a rat.
I don't give a fuck. I'm buying a pistol every round.
Let's push ramp.
Move it. Move it.
Yo, just turn on your aim hacks, Yellow. Stop trying to hide it.
Smoke. Grenade out.
Weak, 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 weak. Oh, if only they challenged. That would have been at least 2 kills, maybe 3.
Yellow, if you have hacks, just turn them fully, please. I wanna win fast.
Move.
Get involved.
Deploying flashbang. Grenade out. Smoke.
One.
Throwing smoke.
1 minute.
Tom it, Tom it, Tom it. Palm over now. Nice.
One.
What the fuck? He's cheating. 98 damage on pit. You see the way he was like. This is the shit kid too. Like, this is the really bad player. Got that kill.
Wow, can I...
Window.
Oh, what is... Shit, okay.
Go for a fast fire rate. Alright, just stay in defensive positions and use your nades properly as well.
Move it, son.
Are you going short?
Gonna risk.
Tallest.
I just fucking damaged my teammate.
Close.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
I've got a flashbang, I'm gonna make use of it. I flashed on A site. I got 2 health, 2 health.
Let's
Give me
change.
the snipe, give me the sniper.
He's low HP. Not.
Underwood.
Minus 2.
Oh shit, sorry, I thought he was to the left.
Oh, nice check, bro.
No, he was low. It's okay. Low. Was low.
Move it, son.
Da na 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 na. Na na.
Throwing a grenade. Laying down smoke. Flashbang.
Go push orange. Yep.
Ah shit, man. Fucking hell, man. No way. This is the fucking terrible guy. Getting those kills.
Mid on wall.
Guys, help! Help! Okay, it's
One mid.
I did very bad, sorry.
He's not it's always a process. You've got that sort of initial rotation, you've got that sort of interface period, you then got those initial shots. And so it's a process. And it's so difficult. That's why retakes are so difficult. Unless you're... I don't know what the theoretical understanding of retakes is.
Run!
Both in the implicit and explicit term sense of things. But certainly in practical terms, at least in these particular circumstances, it's proven to be quite difficult. And so, you know, I've sort of written about that in my paper, and, you know, I've, you know, tried to understand that. I think they're gonna rush B.
These fellas are gonna regret waiting.
I also hacked their communication, so I know that they're gonna rush B.
Smoke. Grenade out. Incendiary.
Oh, 2 on the... He was waiting for me.
Throwing fire.
Guys, 2 on the...
I'm giving up B control.
One more.
Connect. More. One more.
Guys, carefully.
I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. I don't.
Nice, yellow. Very good.
Well, let's take a game then. Gotta take a break. Oh shit. Yeah, that's what. What are we doing?
Go B.
I will try to catch if anybody pushes. Wow.
50-50 I have. One more window.
Come back and play kills. Don't go A, don't go B. Just play kills. Come back and play kills. Go top mid.
P250 можешь взять, Грин, подо мной.
Short and forest.
Nice.
Rotate back and go B. Let's go. We're running out of time. Running out of time.
Push. Green, push. Apart. Go attention, orange.
Yeah, I'm going.
I missed my shots. I'm gonna have to stop recording there. Fuck's sake, man. Right, the last one needs to be reviewed. Just have to pay attention. Rename this one to check. Then think about it. So what happened? I think there was like a motion. One second, let me just clear past. There was like a motion, like so. There's a motion. Signs.
Take connector, please. Green.
Just be careful.
Short health.
Are we going A or B?
No, one is A, one is A.
One.
Under palace or go just B. I will.
I'm going under.
Yeah. One stairs. Oh, sorry, it was stairs. Fuck.
Let's go.
Do
I
you
can get a small
believe
connector
in
from
life
the
after love?
Yes. Throwing a flashback.
2 mid.
Yeah, I'm done with going under, man, because you just fucking get smoked by people who jump out with ops.
One short.
Cheater, man. Cheater. I'm gonna check this now just because I have the time. Alright, go last last minute and a half. I think that's fair enough. Pay attention. Posture. Okay. Right, I need to start recording my voice as well. I don't know why it's not capturing it. I go to properties for this. Is that capturing it? No, yeah, that's alright. Start recording. Come on now.
One jungle, maybe one middle. Oh fuck, he was city. I knew he. No. City one.
I think there might be some weapons down on B, I guess, so.
Kill it all.
What you laughing at, boy?
Fucking bot.
You call me a bot?
He takes the bomb and go meet. Rush.
Uh.
Nah.
We shall rule the day.
We still won this, just won this round. They're fucking dog shit. It's a conventional setup, 2 mid, 2A. Or 2A, 2B, 1 mid.
Right window.
Short.
I will give a smoke.
One's
for
on short,
the-
one's on
the
short.
front.
I'm needing window. Need a connector.
Give smoke for connector.
Alright, I'm smoking it. I smoked it as best I could. Might be under. No bullshit.
Right window, man.
We're too linearized. We're gonna have to rotate back and spread. That's what she said.
Connector.
Left on can.
One more. Window maybe.
Nice trap.
feel like we just I got a plan. Everybody go A orientation.
Go push B.
No.
Just for me.
You're gonna
Let's
listen
go smoke a say. Oh fuck, it's a mouse. Double click it.
Nice.
Fuck
Nice
we get.
Get there.
Short, guys, short.
I'm planting.
Kitchen. Oh,
Or not short.
two guys.
Once they connected, what the fuck?
Why is he so close, man? I never expected that. He's smart.
Why I'm so noob?
Oh crap, man. Yeah, I didn't see that one, did I? Crap, man. Oh crap, man. Oh crap, man.
Fuck, fuck. I smoke city. Under fire. Pushing B.
Connector one.
Let's go B.
It's FK.
No, I'm not.
Take up.
Oh shit, yo, I'm running out of time.
Yes. Take up.
Anyways, what happened there? Sort of sitting back like this here.
At our start point,
And
guard this area.
did that there.
Yes. I'm
And
throwing smoke.
then
I am taking the bomb to A.
tensed up. Tensed up.
Two window.
Jungle. Inside. Underwood.
Coming now. Shine.
No. Follows one. Oh no, sorry.
I got this, trust me. I actually don't, but whatever.
No, you're not, but still think if again.
If I throw a random smoke there, it's gonna be obvious I'm faking it. This guy likes to go top mid.
I think took mid one.
Alright, let's go.
What round?
I know, I know.
Okay.
You got a plan.
Bro, what the fuck? What the fuck? Bro, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? The shots weren't hitting, they just turned on God mode. They just turned on God mode. What the fuck? They just turned on God mode, man. My shots weren't hitting. No, no bullshit. They just turned on God mode. I'm gonna take a break. A coffee break. I mean, it's really all muscle there, you know. Muscular sort of strain. It's just a muscular contraction. That's all it was. Da-na-na-na. Watch this shit. They literally just turned on God mode. I don't know why it's recording in this, you know, limited capacity, as it were. You know, it's not really to break it back down, building it up, to burn it down. I believe, la 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 la. Yeah, I played soldier, you played king. To break it back down.
copy of the record, Sean?
Yes. Just for the mechanical overload looking for that.
So it's complete there all the time. You know what I mean? Just to give it a bit more. So yeah, just be more mindful of where you're pulling the next time.
Right, so you're telling me now that I'm not allowed to lift out my benefits? Is that what you're telling me? Right, Mrs. I know you're saying that, but am I allowed to go on and withdraw money?
Santander branch 6057.
Dear man.
So,
Manager yesterday who has said that it's withheld because you can send your manager yesterday who has said that it's being withheld because you can send it back or accept it because of what's going on within my bank.
Yeah, okay, I'll have a look. It may be an instance that I've got this wrong, but I'm not looking at the relevant notes. Bear with me, please. Of course, we'll be doing everything we can to ensure that you are having access to your benefits. Bear with me, please. Alright, okay, so Santander cannot allow any transactions to take place at the current time. We are unable to provide an explanation at the current time.
Why?
We will advise you if and when the
Why?
situation changes. That is all I can say.
Right, see, being honest with you, right, this is my bank account, right, I have I'm entitled to know what's going on. I've been in contact with my solicitor. See all this nonsense here that, oh, I can't tell you and I don't know what's going on. You clearly know what's going on. You do.
Cannot allow any transactions.
So you keep saying, I know.
Yeah.
I need to know, is this coming from outside agencies?
Santander cannot allow any transactions to take place at the current time. We're unable to provide an explanation at the current time. We'll advise you if and when the situation changes.
Right, so you're telling me now that I'm not allowed to lift out my benefits? Is that what you're telling me? Right, Mrs. I know you're saying that, but am I allowed to go on and withdraw money?
Santander branch 6057. Hi, I have a customer in branch who has a block on their account and I'm looking to get some information about it. Okay. Now, the problem being that Clana receives her benefits into this account and she's due to receive her universal credit today. And it hasn't even hit the account, so it's just about going forward. How are we going to be, or is Clana going to be able to access the funds, you know, that she's due? Okay, now that universal credit payment, would that have been returned in universal credit for her to rearrange the payment to go elsewhere, or? Right, but it's just okay. It's just about for going forward. So we understand that there's a block on the account. The account can't be used. But it's what she's got a young child. You know, it's what she's going to do for going forward to access what she's entitled to, her own benefits. Right. So you've nothing else you can give me then. Right, okay. Right, okay, that's all you can do then, thank you. Bye-bye now. They are going to need nothing.
Like, I'm 30 weeks pregnant as well. This is actually insane. My sister said I understand it's not your fault,
Yeah,
it's coming
no,
from
thank you.
behind.
Yeah.
But it's an absolute disgrace. Like, I'm 30 weeks pregnant, having a baby in December. How am I supposed to? I'm half organised, but like, you need money to
I know that.
He's 18 months. No,
what I would suggest you do is
it's insane.
you get on universal credit. Have you got anybody who could receive your payment for you for a week or two at least?
They can't reissue my payment because it's already been issued. Because it goes, I got a double payment. I've been through.
I would imagine, right, because it's not showing on the account, and he couldn't tell me anything, right? In a day or two, universal credit's going to receive that payment back.
They honestly have said to me, and I was told by the manager who was literally on the.
And here is, unless it's bounced back, it's here, and it's not here in front of me to view.
I wonder where it's gone then.
Right, and that's just my thinking on it, but they will give.
How long it's going to take for them to send me? Like, a month and a half in May.
This is the thing.
It's a joke, like. So I physically can't do anything, can't take any money out, like.
I can give it to you.
It's insane. And I'm with the money going on as well that I'm getting for.
Na 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 na. So that's fine. Not there. There's strain in the muscles. Alright, let me just take a break here. I think I'll regret this in a year's time, man, but at the same time, I've got nothing else to do.
Injuries have lots of long and complicated definitions that we're not going to go into today, but we are going to talk about concussions a little bit. Most simply, a concussion is a brain injury resulting from a blow to the head or body.
It's an extremely broad definition, but what we want you to understand is that a single concussion has the ability to create life-lasting impacts. It can cause severe brain damage and even death. It's unfortunate that in our society, the word concussion is used very nonchalantly.
That's part of the problem with an invisible disability. If you see someone with 2 broken legs, you understand why they're late for work that day, why they need some sort of accommodations. When you see someone with a concussion, you most likely won't know. And a lot of times when they ask for help, people don't believe them.
Concussions are a big issue in our society. Here's a slide demonstrating the amount of concussions that people sustain and living with them afterward. And you can see the number 3.2 million. Now these numbers are only based on those people that were hospitalized with traumatic brain injuries. And Brandon and I, as we'll go into in a moment, weren't hospitalized. So we fall outside of this number. So you can imagine how fast this number grows with people that are living with permanent disabilities after brain injuries.
Brain injuries are finally getting more recognition through the media with the new NFL protocols and movies and all sorts of other information. It's finally becoming apparent just how common concussions are and how dangerous they can be.
Here's a slide behind us that breaks down the most common causes of brain injuries. Both Brandon and I fall into these categories: falls, motor vehicle accidents, getting struck by or against something, etc.
I got my 4th and 5th concussion during the same football game my junior year of high school. They were about 30 minutes apart, so it qualified as second impact syndrome.
Second impact syndrome is the rapid swelling of the brain, and it's usually caused by 2 or more concussions in a short period of time. The condition is often fatal, and those who don't die from the condition are severely disabled. So when Brandon says he has second impact syndrome, what he doesn't say is that he's lucky to be standing here.
So I saw a doctor the day after I got my concussions, and not his fault, but they looked in my eyes and said, "Oh, you'll be better in a week." A few weeks later, I wasn't better. Then they moved it out to maybe a year, maybe 2 years, then probably never.
My story isn't nearly as dramatic as Brandon's. In fact, I got my concussions in some of the most common ways that you can: a horseback riding accident, a car accident, a bicycle accident, and the most ridiculous of all was walking in a ditch.
And when she says walking in a ditch, she doesn't mean like she fell down into a ditch. She means she was walking and missed a step and shook her head just a little too much.
But it is no second impact syndrome, Brandon. But these seemingly small
Wait, what?
My story isn't nearly as dramatic as Brandon's. In fact, I got my concussions in some of the most common ways that you can: a horseback riding accident, a car accident, a bicycle accident, and the most ridiculous of all was walking in a ditch.
And when she says walking in a ditch, she doesn't mean like she fell down into a ditch. She means she was walking and missed a step and shook her head just a little too much.
But it is no second impact syndrome, Brandon. But these seemingly small concussions were still enough to drastically alter the future of my life.
It doesn't take long to realize that, yes, these concussions cause issues, and all brain injuries are vastly different. The two things...
I mean, I have just, to think about it, all I'm doing... Well, what am I doing? Is that straining there? Straining the muscles. But it's not, I haven't received a blow to the head in the past 4 years. Not once, I don't think. But what about Dan?
Brain injuries have in common are everyone has cognitive issues, and then everyone has what's called brain energy issues. We'll go into that a little later. The cognitive issues, at least for me, look like me having trouble in a conversation. If I'm having a conversation with someone, it's hard for me to remember where it started, where it's going, what they said, what I'm supposed to say back. I get mixed up and start to
Yo, I get you, man. I feel you.
stutter, and it's not a fun experience.
But see, my damage, you know, in multiple ways. For instance, loss of growth in my brain over the past 4 years. Your brain grows until you're 25. The second form of damage is loss of maintenance. So the adequate supply of energy in order to aid in the maintenance of the neurological structures at the superstructure and minuscule structure levels, in all respects, I should say. I mean, it really just revolves around food, but then obviously there's the applied brain damage from MI5. You know, and you know.
There's a bit of a range where, on one hand, people who have concussions, they might have very little symptoms, or they don't really have any issues and they rebound right away after their injuries. And on the other hand, you have severe disabilities, changes that last forever. Maybe they're mental, maybe they're physical. It could be depression, anxiety. You might have a limp, a stutter, a twitch, chronic fatigue, or headaches. There's a theory that we like to discuss when talking about this, and along with cognition, I struggled with reading comprehension issues and memory, but one of the hardest things to work through was energy. The spoon theory is by Christine Miserandino.
I understand these people, man. I get it, man. I understand it. I understand it big time, 100%. Like a lot of people probably don't understand, but the comprehension issues. Like I was reading CIA source code, as they call it, right, on WikiLeaks, and I was really struggling to understand what a variable was. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And you know, stuff like that.
Theory that we like to discuss when talking about this, and along with cognition, I struggled with reading comprehension issues and memory, but one of the hardest things to work through was energy. The spoon theory is by Christine Miserandino. And you can look up her theory. It's a wonderful, wonderful discussion about invisible disabilities, but basically it equates spoons to energy. And every day, every person starts with a certain number of spoons. And each activity that you do through the day costs a certain number of spoons. So, before my brain injuries, I might have had 80 or 90 or 100 spoons to start with in the day, and after each activity in the day, I would lose a certain number of spoons. But after the brain injury, I might start with 15 or 20 or 10 spoons in a day. And if eating breakfast costs 1 spoon, you can quickly see how a tenth of my energy is gone by the time I walk out the door. This is a major issue when we're talking about brain injuries.
It's easy to see how little changes like this would vastly change our identities. I mean, we all have gone through life. Our identities change from things like growing up or going to college or starting a new job. But for us, it wasn't a natural progression. One day, we were forced to change. And ever since then, we've just been trying to catch up and figure out who we are now.
Exactly. We're all trying to figure out who we are in this world. You know, we're all lost in the sea of beans. We're travelling at speeds, and the speeds are relative, as Einstein had pronounced during his 1915 debacle, the so-called Annus Erebus. It was 1905, actually, forgive me. And really, the Jefferson Report had come together at the time, and you started to see a sort of rising up of the people. The people were rising in a way that was not seen before. You know, the people were coming together, there was conversations, you know, all the rest of it, like, and, you know, it was a rising up. And what had happened... Alright, let's watch that. Because why not? Show me my live stream, dude.
disabilities, but basically it equates spoons to energy. And every day, every person starts with a certain number of spoons. And each activity that you do through the day costs a certain number of spoons. So, before my brain injuries, I might have had 80 or 90 or 100 spoons to start with in the day. And after each activity in the day, I would lose a certain number of
It's
spoons.
the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Spoon theory. It's madness.
10 spoons in a day. And if eating breakfast costs 1 spoon, you can quickly see how a tenth of my energy is gone by the time I walk out the door. This is a major issue when we're talking about brain injuries.
It's easy to see how little changes like this would vastly change our identities. I mean, we all have gone through life. Our identities change from things like growing up or going to college or starting a new job. But for us, it wasn't a natural progression. One day, we were forced to change. And ever since then, we've just been trying to catch up and figure out who we are now.
Exactly. We're all trying to figure out who we are in this world. You know, we're all lost in the sea of beings. We're travelling at speeds, and the speeds are relative, as Einstein had pronounced during his 1915 debacle, the so-called Annus Erebus. It was 1905, actually, forgive me. And really, the Jefferson Report had come together at the time, and you started to see a sort of rising up of the people. The people were rising in a way that was not seen before. You know, the people were coming together, there was conversations, you know, all the rest of it, like, and, you know, it was a rising up. And what had happened... Alright, let's watch that. Because why not?
Never think make the difference. When somebody hears about something I might be going through, a common thing I hear is, oh, that happens to me all the time. You don't have to have a brain injury to experience that. And while that is true, you don't have to have a brain injury to fail an exam or forget your lines in a TEDx presentation. It still is, it's the change. We don't think we're special or different or that nobody else goes through these things. It's the difference from then to now, that we didn't have these problems before and now we do.
It's weird to wake up one day and realize you can't do something you've never thought about even doing, like walking or talking. That was just natural, and now it's not. It's really hard to accept and advocate for yourself that these are different and you need something different.
The acceptance piece is one of the slowest and hardest parts of this program, or progress. I had a really hard time with this because I was told when I went to the ER for my second concussion, car accident, that I had post-concussive syndrome, and I
ain't getting in the car again, son.
may have memory loss and problems taking exams.
I'm developing my own UFO saucer to get around. Need to go to Tesco's to get a little bit of milk.
Because I had had a really hard semester. So the next semester in the fall, when I went back to school and I started failing again, I realized that something is really wrong, and I took the first step to tell my parents about my poor grades, which was terrifying. And it was then, in that moment, that I realized it wasn't just my grades that had changed, it was my whole life. My personality had changed. I didn't laugh at the same jokes. I didn't really like hanging out with my friends. It was exhausting. I didn't want to be out in society.
Your life is over. Get over it.
The road to understanding why I was
And you're a fucking cunt. Stop talking like that.
Hit in the head. I was able to put 2 and 2 together and figure that one out. It was hard for me to accept, though.
Why don't they get married? You can have little brain dead children.
I kept just a little longer to really accept it. I have a degree. I just said next week. A doctor finally told me that, you know what, it's time to stop treating the brain injury and start learning to live with it. In that moment, it was devastating to hear. But looking back, it was so important. Because I finally accept that I had a brain injury. This will affect me the rest of my life. And I started advocating for myself.
What do we do now? We start to see these changes, and then we start to accept that these changes might be permanent. And then what? What's the next step? For those of you who are wondering what the superpower is, you cannot fly. That is not a thing. But you can advocate. And it's a really uncomfortable thing to do at first. It's not really exactly good etiquette to walk up to someone and say, hey, my name is Lauren, and I love cows, and I got 4 brain injuries. What's your name again? And it's awkward. It's really uncomfortable to kind of adopt a new part of yourself and then try to insert it into all these facets of life. And there's a point where you realize that you have certain needs that can't. I would like to have the exam read to me. That change was monumental. Not only, if I had just gone up to her and asked her and told her what my needs were, not only would she have been able to help me with that, but she would have given me tools to be my most successful self. That's when I realized that you can't be complacent. And I started to change aspects in my life so that I could advocate and then accept the outcomes of that advocacy.
With the help from the CSU Occupational Therapy Department, Laura and I developed a group called the CSU Brain Injury Community. Now
Yeah, I think I had a concussion. Let me think. It was really painful. Like. Hmm. Hmm.
The goal of this group is to bring students with brain injuries together to show them that, yes, this can be normal. You are not alone, and it's okay to ask for your needs. You're not the odd man out here. We all deserve the chance to be the most.
Hey! I'm a woman! Rude.
Successful as we can.
So, with a dream of bringing people together and a whole lot of rescheduling.
I'm actually fascinated by this topic.
So, this is a picture of Abby Wambach, the ominous female soccer player, the National League.
Oh no, I've had it all. Hurt. Be fine. At least that's the one thing I used to hate doing, heading the ball, because it would fucking hurt as hell. So, and I think that's really, I have done it before where I've headed the ball, and it really hurt. So I don't know if that was the brain, doing the little thing where it sort of bashes against the skull or whatever, and then sort of manifests by means of intermediary phenomena and processes as pain in the head, by virtue of the observation in the medical discipline that the brain does not retain a capacity for feeling in the form of nerve cells. This is the reality of the time. Anyways. No, so what's she gonna say? That's what I'm interested in. Let's see. Why did I just exit on?
Of her headers that this time around provoked a concussion. She stated, "I'm okay," which provoked that the referee did not call medical team onto the field. And she continued to play and ended up having prolonged symptoms after this event, probably cumulative also for all other headers she did, but this was one that was provoked a very serious concussion. Similarly, Christopher Kramer,
Aye.
played in the national World Cup.
Yo, Amanda Vedich must be fucking brain dead.
Brazil. And some of you might be familiar with that story. He had a very bad collision and was actually taken out for a brief medical assessment and was returned right away back to the field. Until about 10-15 minutes later, he went to the referee and asked the referee, "Is this the final of the World Cup?" And the referee couldn't believe his question and said, "Are you asking me, is this the final?" And he said, "Yes." And the referee answered, "Yes, it is." And Christopher Kramer turned around and said, "Thank you, it's helpful to know." This best describes what happens after a concussion. It's a very elusive injury. It's a very invisible injury. If Christopher Kramer had a knee injury and torn a ligament, he would have been out of the game, no question. He would have been escorted, never returned to that game. But the concussion, even being touching an organ that's very complex, but also has an incredible resilience and capacity to regenerate or to cover up actually in the moment when it's injured, poses a lot of very difficult questions and how to handle it, how to recognize it, how to manage it. Okay. So how does a concussion happen? What is it due to? What is the mechanism? It's a direct blow to the head, neck, or face. And that can happen in a game. Obviously, it happens very often in the athletic scene, or it can also happen.
I just ruined my mood. I thought I was good. Neck? I mean, it's just a direct blow to the neck. Have I had a direct blow to the neck? No. Strain of muscles. That's all.
It's a direct blow to the head, neck, or face.
See. I think just to have this conversation, you know, I think that observations in these respects are warranted, in the sense that it is proper to, I don't want to say that word like I'm in Oxford, it is right to say, well, heading the ball and sports injuries and whatever can cause, brain issues, but at the same time we can't let that cloud our judgment of the resilience of the brain, and the fact that a lot of the time you are grand, as they say.
And that can happen in a game. Obviously, it happens very often in the athletic scene, or it can also happen just during any injury, fall, etc. It's a physical force, typically in sports. Again, can be more of linear nature, can be of rotational nature. The rotational nature usually has more severe injury as a consequence. And in the military setting, it can be due to a shock wave, which typically happens in the situation of an IED, an improvised explosive device, emitting shock waves, and it provokes the same type or very similar type of injury, similarly invisible. Many times they don't realize that they're actually being injured because there's not a direct impact. So it's even more difficult to capture and for the individual even to realize. And then obviously the civilian population, due to a fall or a car accident, so concussions occur. And so very different, varied settings. What happens to your brain during a concussion? So there is the result of these forces is a very complex pathophysiological process. It can be more of biochemical nature. A lot of the neurotransmitters are jumbled up. They do immediately react to the physical forces. it can also be, it basically what it creates is it's an injury-induced vulnerability of the brain. The brain is in a very vulnerable stage after it sustains a concussion. And
What? I'll go downstairs. Okay.
There is an increase in glucose demand because of the brain trying to react to this impact. It needs more fuel, and therefore